Yes. So which is what we do. We farm mealworms, it's a small beetle, and we process them into premium, natural and sustainable ingredients to feed animals, and mainly carnivorous animals, so pets, cats, dogs, and fish, shrimps, salmons. And also we recover their manure, and we do an excellent organic fertilizer to fertilize plants from wheat to tomatoes and vineyards. The animal feed market, nobody is really aware of how it's structured and works. There are many ingredients in this 500 billion market, 1 billion tons of ingredients used every year in the world to feed mainly chicken, but also pigs, ruminants, fish, pets, etc. Majorities of ingredients are plant-based, soy, wheat, corn. You have also in different countries, not really in Europe, but animal slaughterhouse byproducts, like poultry offals, for instance, poultry livers. And you have also other animal products, really on the premium part of the value chain, small volumes, but very high value. This is what we call fish meal, and I will come back to it. And today in the world, there is no really insect meal used in the animal feed business, although it's natural in the wild. So you have these different ingredients. What we call premium is ingredients which have a very high quantity of proteins, low quantity of minerals or fibers. And you see the big difference between the fish meal and, for instance, the soy, where you have lower quantities of proteins and more fibers. But the volumes are different. 200 million tons of soy produced in the world for the feed, 5 million tons of fish meal. So big difference in volumes, but big difference in terms of value and product quality. So this is what we see today, where the market tension is the biggest, the supply is the most constrained, is in the premium area. Because there is one main ingredient called fish meal. It's basically small fish we catch in the sea, mainly near Peru and Chile. It's an excellent ingredient. People really love it because it has very good nutritional performance, health benefits. But there is just not enough fish in the oceans to feed and to answer the needs of the animal we farm, especially the fish. So today there is more demand than supply, and in the past 15 years, the stock of these fish have been declining, divided by 2. So what we want indeed is to help the sector and offer similar ingredients to help and release the pressure on the oceans. It's not to stop this fishing. Fish could be a very sustainable industry as long as you fish above the threshold of renewability. So it's a large market, and there is still a growing gap, and we need to fill. And with our products, so this protein extracted from mealworm, we can help the sector with this premium ingredient. Premium because it's natural. In the nature, all animals are almost eating insects. Birds or fish could be 50, even more, 60, 70% in some stages of their lives, so it's very big. Could be just a few, like wild cats or wild pigs, but they're all eating insects. It's natural. Same for the plants. Our forests, our meadows are all fertilized by the work of earthworms, but also insects with their manure, fertilizing every day the soil. Natural organic fertilizer. So this is natural, it's sustainable also. We can help, as I said, to reduce the pressure on the oceans with the product like this. So protecting marine biodiversity, but also terrestrial biodiversity. And you will see with our technology of vertical farming, we can spare and save a lot of land and produce on 1 hectare much more than any other culture or livestock, as you see, up to 50,000 tons of production per hectare. And finally, the premium means also performance and health. Fish meal is already the best ingredient in terms of performance and health for animals. But we have a lot of scientific evidence. We have worked with a lot of research universities, lab in France with INRA, in Norway with Novima, or University of Kazetsart in Bangkok, or the University of Athens in Greece, on many different trials, feeding sea bass, shrimp, salmons, chicken, with commercial diets, commercial feed, and a feed including our in-meal replacing fish meal. Always the results were drastically positive. You see 25% less mortality, 40% less mortality, up to 35% less consumption of feed, and also faster growth, speed growth. These numbers have never been seen in a sector, such big magnitude of positive effect. So we start to understand also the background, the scientific background behind, in terms of protein sizes, in terms of digestibility of the proteins, explaining this boost, and also antimicrobial peptides. Mr. Hoffman knows much more than me, than the positive effect on the different organisms. So it's really unique in terms of performance, and same on the plants. You see 30 to 300% increase of yield on rapeseed, on wheat, on corn. So this is really never seen numbers in the sector. So basically, we can produce more with less impact and more productivity for the sector. So really in the frame on the overall sustainability. And it's also delicious, not only for direct for human food, but we tested with this chef in Norway, the salmon fed with our feed, including our meal. They were the texture and structure were the same than the commercial salmons, but even the flavor was slightly different and a bit cleanest, as he said, meaning closest to the taste of the wild salmon. So something that we need to investigate even more with chefs and food sensorial analysis. Very promising in this part. So how we do it? We do this with this vertical farm concept. We have designed from a small lab to this plant, which is running for now 2.5 years in Burgundy, in Dole, and it's a 17 meters high factory, and you see basically the mealworm are farmed in different trays, like it is in the traditional sector in Asia or in a fish bait sector for decades and decades. And the thing we are automating all the handling of this insect, bringing automatically feed, controlling quality, and processing them with different best equipments from the food sector. So as I said, it's not only proteins. When you farm and you process, you recover the protein from the larvae and an oil also, doing both for feed, and from the farming we recover the manure of the mealworm to making this a great fertilizer for plants. So as I say, we did it over time, scaling from a very small lab to this demo plant, and we are now building a very large one in near Amiens in the next few months. For this, we have been working a lot with different universities, as I said, and still going with different partnerships. Said Marcel, I'm really honored to be chairing this European association for now a few years, working on all regulatory topics. And I mean, our technology and our market position has been validated by all the investors, community, banks, public support. You see, with 175 million of support in the past 5 years is the biggest investment on insects in the world globally, with support from Europe and also from Asia. So to summarize, we need a lot of we need more diversity of ingredients. We need to reduce the food waste. We need more plant-based ingredients, as you said, for like the Impossible Food colleagues. We absolutely need this, and we need all the different alternative proteins to come on the market. We just think the mealworm is really adapted for this premium segment in terms of performance and health, which something today is never seen on animal feed and plant nutrition. So it's something, a position which is quite unique. We are today about 105 and even a bit more, I think in the past few days, from about 20 countries, nationalities, organized on science, on different industry, engineering, and different supporting activities to really develop an international company. And our ambition is really big, could be seen as insane, but we think we can produce 1 million tons of proteins in the next decade with a bit more than 15 factories. And this can generate at least 5 billion revenues. So you could say it's too ambitious and too big, but just to remind you the size of the market. In 10 years, animal feed and plant fertilizer will be 1,000 billion total value together. So we talk only about 0.5% of market shares we are targeting. And beyond investors, customers believe us also. We have more than 70 million orders from very big players in Europe and more to come in the next few months. So we have a strong today understanding of what we do, the funding investment communities, from the customers. We work with a lot of different universities in this open innovation. We need to make this industry real and profitable and long-term and really sustainable, addressing, as you see, a lot of the different United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which is what we need to make a positive and sustainable future. Thank you.
We may have time for a burning question.
Very nice, very interesting talk. Why do you concentrate on plant and animals only? I mean, you probably dream about more.
You mean human nutrition?
Yes.
I think, as Marcel has shown, there is so much good initiatives being developed. And as chairman of IPF, I work with my colleagues on these topics. But, you know, we are still, even if we have a lot of funds, we have a big team, we are still a very small company in these huge markets, and we cannot be active in too many different things. We need to focus. And today we see, with our product and our technology, a very big traction with customers coming to us, not every day, but very regularly, in the feed, in the plants. It's not the case yet on food, but I'm sure it's developing, and what I see with my colleagues and what Marcel has shown, it's coming, and we'll see maybe in 10 years, but today we are really focused on feed and fertilizers.
Thank you very much. I think we need to move on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.